Sean, how hot is it supposed to get today? 100? 110? Yesterday it was 103.
103.
Yes.
According to my app, it says 103. It'll probably feel like 114.
It will. You know, if it were dry heat, it would be so much better, but it's, you know, in the words of Alien, but it's dry heat. The problem is it's not dry heat here. All right. So, Bashan, you got my reference because you watched Aliens, which was one of the best Aliens. The rest is just nonsense. Oh, that's okay. Okay, let me set us up. Can you give me a couple lights? Yes, because I have water. Thank you. All right, everyone, I am going to call the docket. When I call the docket, please let me know you're here. If you don't respond, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. And today is our jury trial date, so someone will be going to jury trial today. In custody, we have Betty Jean Gonzalez, Demario Jones, Jacqueline Wells, Daniel Swingell, Mary Diaz. Jonathan Boyd. Again, there's no relation. In custody, we have Lionel Young, Cirio Castro. If there's a Jorge Diaz here, your case was dismissed. Kevin Robinson. All right, thank you. In custody, we have Jorge Macias Castro. Thank you. Laura Romero. Raymond Alejandro. Good morning. In custody, we have Benny Santos. Joseph Anzaldua. Thank you. Lisa Marie Garza. Your attorney will be here shortly. Tyler Small. Tyler Small. Tyler Stephen Small. In custody, we have Christopher Cantu, Vanessa Varela, Jan Torres Rivera, Michael J. Durant, Michael J. Durant, Stephen Wellington. In custody, we have James Earl Bradley, David Solomon. How do you pronounce that last name?
Duenas?
David Solomon Duenas. In custody, we have Gennaro Reyna, George Abaye. Thank you. Jose Javier Contreras. In custody, we have Pedro Matamoros, John Anthony Rodriguez. In custody, we have Alexander Politos, Philip Acosta, Jose Ramirez, Valerie Martinez, that'll be at 11, Lisa Marie Garcia, 11, Nathan Martinez, 11, and Cruz Rivas. Is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? All right, what's your name?
Hardaway, Derek.
Derek Hardaway. All right, do you know your SID number or case number? What's your SID number? 108-1505. Do you know who your attorney is? All right, just give us a moment. Have you had any contact with your attorney?
Yes.
Oh, what's the attorney's name?
Right, Edward Cantu.
Oh, Ed Cantu, okay. All right, yes. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak up. 922220. And your last name again? Warner. Do you know who your attorney is? All right, we'll make sure we take care of that today, okay? All right, anyone else on this side? All right, over here, yes. I'm sorry, what? How do you spell the last name? Oh, that's unusual to have that name for a last name. We'll talk about that so I can see what the origin of that is. Do you know your SID number or case number?
11807.
Do you know who your attorney is?
Rochelle Acevedo.
Okay. Have you had a chance to meet with her? All right, just wait here. We'll make sure that happens. Thank you. All right, anyone else who came in late or your name was not called? Yes. All right, so I'll need you on the front row, okay? In the back? Tyler, what? Is he on the docket?
Yes, he is. First row, sir.
All right. All right, everyone. Attorneys, you know the rules of the court. Please follow the rules of the court. And please remember that Ms. Abram is sitting over there in the corner. That is her office. Do not turn your back towards her. And please do not treat the court reporter's desk as your own personal desk. Think of it as if I were to come to your office unannounced and you're sitting at your desk and I just start taking over. So let's not do that. Let's be kind to each other. We're going to have a jury trial brought up here today by 11:15. So anyone, if your case isn't working out, what's going to end up happening is we're going to a jury trial. So everyone, please confer with kindness in your heart.
Do you want him here by 11:15?
Yeah. Yes. We can put it at 11:30. That's fine.
He doesn't, you're kind of okay. How many do you want? Judge?
What's the number we usually have? Yeah, just put it somehow, yeah.
Norma, the coordinator from the one thing, from the one. It's 75.
Oh, yeah.
11:30. Thank you.
Yeah, that.
On the Robert. Are you coming to?
Ruben, on Pierce Jones, this was your agreement, correct? It's the gentleman who wanted to go to the park.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You got the elevators? Oh, yeah.
Yes, come on. Once it comes out,
Thank you.
No. Okay. All right, thank you.
Well, she has one.
Hold on, don't do that. You take it, 7. So it was no big deal, it was just like. Yeah. Get back. Send it off, yeah. That's, we should. Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice thing, that's just. Yeah, no problem.
Yes.
One of the, supplement, one of the. On the document that I sent you yesterday,
Mhm.
I'd like to talk to you about it.
Okay. All right, all right.
So whenever you're ready to sign.
Okay. I will.
Yeah, but I was it right, I mean.
All right, Norma, this needs to be set right away.
She was running with a child in 15 months. Yes.
Philip Acosta? José Ramírez? She was, we're gonna get it. So, yeah, that's.
Do you have nobody out there?
Is this a situation where somebody has brought a child to court so that? Yes, well, let them know outside that she is still on the docket. Yes.
Everyone to go.
Mhm. Oh, and the one that's on top, could you show that to Deshawn? There's one with Gara. Is that the last name? Yes.
That's not gonna help, or not, that's.
Yes, can you give me an update on that one? They're saying she has a infection with her leg or something.
I think once they switch, the civil side switched. This one. So that's out. But You can still. Look at
Cool. Thank you.
I see attorneys here, but I see no one confirming.
We have nothing to submit. Yeah, their client's coming out.
Okay.
You're on, you're right. He's on.
Okay, let me look it up. We had a couple.
It's a food.
LaShawn, thank you for giving me the MTR with case summaries.
I usually.
Mhm. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. If it doesn't add too much to your work.
Okay, thank you so much. So I guess.
See, we're doing other people's work. This,
Mr. Hardaway?
make sure that's on the 399.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, thank you.
I didn't contact the attorney. No?
Oh, no problem.
Also, she's. Morning, Robin.
Good morning.
This is my. Hi, I just, there were totally report. Maybe they're calling. Are you able to? Okay.
Hey, what's it?
Hello.
Hi, Judge. Sure on their deeds.
Mr. Collins will be on it.
All right, thank you.
Oh, yeah, I think. Perfectly timed. I see the question. It is. Are you ready to walk? On this one here. And that's it there. Maybe goes around. You say she's still associates.
Mary Diaz.
Yes, I have a couple things lined up. There's something I'm missing. Maybe.
All right, Ms. Diaz, come forward.
Sir,
Yes.
Good morning, Judge. I know that Ms. Diaz is scheduled for a trial this morning. I do believe that we have everything and are otherwise prepared. Mr. Bunk, who is co-counsel, he is currently already in a jury trial. I conferred with him today and last week, and they had picked a jury and they are set to begin testimony this morning. My understanding from him is that it is an aggravated assault with a repeater count, and the punishment will be to the jury. My expectation is he will be out or in trial for the balance of this week and likely to carry into next week, is my understanding. So I would, if the court could find a new date for us, I don't know when. I understand this case is a priority for the court. So that is my announcement.
All right, is he the first chair on the case?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On this case, recall it for next week and we'll see where he is.
I've got a notice in for the last 2 days of next week, just so you know.
Okay.
Okay. It's fine, Judge.
All right, so we'll come back on the 17th. And Ms. Ferguson, if you can reset it for the 17th.
17th?
Yes.
All right.
All right, once you receive your reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge. Yeah. Here's a back. I won't say that. And so.
Lucian Pedro Matamoros. Good morning. All right, and your client?
He's right there, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, he picked up.
Oh, he needs to come down.
Sure.
Yes, he can come down.
Long time no see, Judge.
Long time no see. Yes. How was the trip?
Very good. Very hot, very tired, but otherwise all good.
Okay. All right, your client needs to be in the center. All right, so what's going on with this case?
So Judge, there's a unindicted ag robbery case that he's picked up, I want to say about a month ago. I'm taking a look right now, just making sure that our victim advocate could reach out to the victim there. We may try and make an offer on that ag robbery case that takes care of everything else that he has pending.
All right. And so when was that alleged to have occurred?
June 11th
Okay,
or the 12th. I might be getting that day, that off by a day.
okay.
Jay
so-
Golster first pointed to that one, Judge.
All right. So how much time are you asking to look that over?
So I've already taken a look at the police report. I think just the main thing is reaching out to the victim, just because it was so new. I'm already writing an email to our victim advocate to reach out.
So if we bring this back the last week in July, is that enough time?
That should be enough time, Judge. My understanding is that at least from the report, the victim was pretty upset and they followed up with him.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, can I have a date for the last week of July? And if you can make sure that James Otersdorf is present as well?
July 31st.
All right, we'll be back on July 31st.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you. Okay, all right, thank you.
Page 13 and 1. And you just gotta check if you file in the wrong word.
Lord willing.
To carry on,
Who sang that song?
Debbie Boone,
That's right.
but in the movie, it was,
Circa 78, how far back?
yes, but it was in the seventies, and in the movie, the person who played it was the girl who played in, Grease, Kiki somebody.
Oh, not Olivia Newton.
No, Olivia Newton-John didn't play in the
She
movie.
was one of the film ladies.
Yes, I think she was the one who was the beauty school dropout. Yes, Dee Dee Khan.
Yeah.
Yes, she played in the movie. And the name of the movie, I think, was You Light Up My Life.
Frenchie? What was the movie?
I think the name of the movie was You Light Up My Life.
I don't remember that. The girl's favorite movie right now. It's so interesting. They like Breakfast Club was her favorite movie.
Oh, wow.
It was. Now it's Titanic. Because that boat going down kind of pricked their interest. And I said, well, you know, there's a movie about it. You know? So they are all about Titanic. So
Oh my
we've been
gosh.
watching Titanic. 3.5 hours long. Do you know how long? It's a good movie.
But so are they going through their phase where their Molly Ringwald phase, where they're watching all those
They
movies?
just got into those movies, which I'm glad because I love them. Those were my generation movies. I was 16 years old.
Are you gonna have them watch Billie Jean? Pay as you go, Mr. Piper. Pay as you go.
It's the legend.
Yeah, the Legend of Billie Jean.
I would, if they're interested. They've got a pretty wide range of interest, which is really, really good. I like that. And Harper's favorite entertainer right now is Britney Spears. She loved, I'm like.
Hey, it could be Neil Diamond.
It could be, or it could be Metallica, which wouldn't bother me either.
Yeah,
So far, so good.
or Cinderella.
They're kind of past all that.
No, the group Cinderella. Do
Oh, Cinderella,
you remember Cinderella?
Oh,
The big
yeah.
hair band?
Uh-huh.
Or Rat?
mid 80s.
Metalhead like Tochi, of course, you know.
Yeah, Motley Crue, all the.
Yes.
Warrant,
Foreigner.
I could go. They were, I don't consider them big.
Foreigner, well, they're not really heavy metal, but their songs are,
Crocus.
Yeah.
Remember Crocus? Are we dating ourselves? We're dating.
we are. And what was the
Still good
name?
music though. It's great music.
Yeah, what was the name of
I thought.
the
Def
group?
Leppard was-
Oh, White Snake.
Oh, yeah. David Coverdale. It's all good bands. So that's one of my go-tos.
Lita Ford.
That's one of my go-tos on Pandora is like 80s hair rock. It's.
Do you remember Lita Ford?
Yes, I do.
She still says, what happened to our rock and our kiss me twice? Yeah,
She was a rocker.
she was. But they showed they did an interview of her on the beach, and it was so dramatic because the wind is blowing and she's sitting there with her guitar and she's like, people are gonna wake up and say, what happened to our rock and roll? And I'm like,
I'll say the best musical decade.
Mhm.
I really do. All the different genres, all the different music. In my opinion, probably the 80s until the mid 90s, and then after that. In my opinion. That's
I'm a fan of the fifties. I'm a fan of the sixties.
A lot of great music there too, without a doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
I like.
I think everybody, whatever area you grew up in, you think the music was great. Because that takes you back sort of to your
Yeah.
teenage years.
I don't know how you could arbitrarily gauge what decade truly produced the best artistry in terms of, but today, I don't understand music today, but that's probably a function of age.
Well, either I'm going deaf or I can't understand what they're saying,
I can't hear.
because some of it, I'm like, what are they saying? What's going on here?
It just doesn't seem to be very creative. That's the
No.
thing that gets me. It's like, to me, it's music, but it's really, there's no thought to.
You know, they did a,
Structure to it. It's just a beat and words.
you know, they did
Well, that's fine.
a program on Motown. And Smokey Robinson says that when he first came to Motown, he's there with his group, you know, they're trying to figure out what the name of it is going to be. And of course, it became the Miracles. But he said he met with the owner of Motown, Barry Gordy,
Mhm.
and some other people who were writing music. They're like, do you write music? He's like, yes, I do write music. And he said they told him a song, you must have the beginning, the middle, and the end. He said you would think everybody would know that, but they kept telling him the song has to tell a story and it has to grab you. And that's how he started writing. And he wrote so many songs. You know who else has written a lot of songs that people don't realize? Babyface. Babyface has his hands on so much music that everybody loves, even Prince.
Well, Prince was. See, I like all that music.
Yeah.
I do. And even like all the Motown stuff,
Mhm.
late sixties.
Yes.
That was good music.
People just don't write well anymore.
That's also another go-to on my Pandora. I have like 5 go-tos. Motown's one of them, classic rock.
My go-to,
90s hip hop over there.
you know, my go-to for songs, just if I want to hear something, Otis Redding and Bobby Womack and Bobby Blue Bland. Bobby Blue Bland has a CD, he's since passed, 2 Steps from the Blues. And that CD takes you through an entire lifespan.
Mhm.
From the time he meets the lady that he's in love with, the breakup, and then the ending. And you just feel so sad for him because it goes.
The Sanchos and Sanchos in between.
Yes.
The Agasol case and then the dismiss waiver.
Well, I will tell you, at the end
I'm
of the
cynical.
song, at the end of the album or CD, whatever they're calling them now, he goes to St. James Infirmary. So she's dying. But yes, there's some great songs. Usually though, when I'm coming in, I'll either put it on the Soul channel, which supposedly plays the oldies. And when they started playing Cooling the Gang as an oldie, I'm like, I am old. I mean, they're playing Cooling the Gang, Hollywood Swinging as an oldie.
They were early 80s, late 70s, early 80s.
Now it's the oldies. So I either do that or I do the jazz channel or Frank Sinatra channel.
They're good.
They are.
Those are real good.
But introduce your babies to Cooling the Gang.
I will. They have a pretty wide range. We'll
Yeah.
sometimes just go through old YouTube videos and I'll expose them to old music.
Mhm.
And their current, well, not anymore. Their last current favorite song was Dancing Queen by ABBA.
I love
And they
ABBA.
produced it at school through a production they were doing, and they loved that damn song.
Do you know the story behind
They're good.
Dancing Queen?
Yeah, that's good music. No,
The story behind the Dancing Queen, you know, where they say only 17?
Yeah.
It's supposed to have been only 14 or something, but they were saying, no, that sounds very creepy. So we're gonna up the age to 17. So whenever I listen to it now, I know it's not supposed to be only 17.
yeah. All right, Judge, have a good Tuesday.
All right, you too. It's gonna be a great Tuesday.
Good.
Don't tell me to have a good Tuesday. It's gonna be great.
Party's still going strong here.
Have a good one.
Lot of.
Should I approach?
Just give it off.
Alexander, oh, you know what, go ahead,
Oh.
go ahead.
Hi.
Yeah,
It'll either say Benny Santos or Bernardino Santos. But it's Santos for sure. Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Alexander Palitos.
All right, who's here on Benny Santos? And where's Benny Santos?
He's hospitalized, Judge. The deputy just informed me.
Okay. Well, I hope he's going to be okay.
Me too. But beyond that, you want to say anything or? I'm sorry, sir, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
This state has nothing to add.
Okay.
All right, well, obviously
I
we,
interrupted you
well, obviously we can't have a jury trial. So I'm,
that way.
yes. Ms. Ferguson, Deputy Laura, do we know what the issue is?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. He was not brought because he's at the hospital right now.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, let's recall this in 2 weeks and we'll see where he is. And of course, counsel, if
I'll
it's
find out.
of a nature,
Here, they didn't know, so they're hearing it for the first time too. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
It's between him and Ben Marcus.
July 25th.
all right, so we're gonna come back on July 25th, and that will be a jury trial date. But of course, if due to his medical issues, it's not appropriate, then the court will understand.
I understand, Your Honor. May I be excused to 13?
Yes.
Thanks, Judge. Jump on you when you were talking. Usually you do good about it.
I'm not sure who I speak with here, but.
Who's here on Alexander Politos?
You still in the back. I just wanted to give you an update on this one, Judge. The state hasn't built their file yet, so they don't have it here. I was just gonna see if we can recall it for next week, that way we can.
All right, state.
It's a new indictment, Your Honor, so we just haven't gotten the file.
So where is it?
That I'm not sure of.
Is there any way to find this file?
I can take a look real quick in our system to see.
I have no problem. I'll be here.
Okay, all right, let's see if we can find the file. They're looking for the file in that case. Yes. But Sean, I can't do it because today is Shenanigans Tuesday.
I started early too.
Mhm.
Yes, I have a really problem with. Yes. I was trying to play on this case. Yeah. Like the same thing, they were gonna do 5 seconds. And I do. Oh, seems like they were. Yeah.
Work on a day.
Yeah, I think I'd,
It's all right.
I would, like, and I know like Sarah says like.
Maybe she's planning on running. Why would you do that? And is she on the docket?
Okay, so. Alejandro, the offer there is there, but, it's probably just like the good one. Yeah, and I talked to him, was trying to. So. She wanna do this. Yeah, I don't know that we're like first in line. Yeah. It's one of my. Yeah, she was. We talk about.
I appreciate that.
Did you get the? You got into this, and that's why we're here, like in discovery, like clients. Okay, well,
He does say, he can do it seriously. I did that.
So as a tool that you guys just, we just want to report to the point that our discovery matter. There's all. But probably the deadline, the day or something like that, it's just. We can try to work with it. I'd be truly an active match. I watch videos. Yeah, that's sounds good. I mean, but here's the thing, like, even if he doesn't admit to doing it, like, what doesn't mean they don't admit to doing it. It's called. Yeah, we'll approach. Immediately, but, yeah, whenever, I think we just have to ask for your fine.
Last but not least.
What is that mean? Well, then, that's very. Let me see.
Might be very.
All right, George Abaye. Your client, good morning, your client's in the center.
Not system.
All right, so today is your plea deadline date?
I believe today was the discovery date.
No, acknowledgement of discovery doing plea deadline date.
Okay, so we have our discovery.
All right. And with regards to the plea, is he accepting it or rejecting it?
He's not accepting the plea this time, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Abaye, are you rejecting the plea?
Yes.
Okay. And are you a citizen?
No.
And where are you from originally?
Nigeria.
All right. So will you need an interpreter or no?
No.
Are you appointed or retained?
Retained, Your Honor.
All right. Has he talked to an immigration attorney?
I don't believe he has at this time, but we've given him.
So does he want an immigration attorney?
Not at this time.
No, it's either yes or no.
No.
All right. So here's the thing. You cannot come in here on the day of trial, counsel, and say, he needs an immigration attorney so we can decide on whether or not, what we're going to do. So if you want an immigration attorney, the court will appoint you an immigration attorney. But on the day of trial, we are not doing this thing where he needs an immigration attorney.
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2023 CR 3141, State of Texas versus George Abaye. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
defense?
Shannon Locke for Georgia Baye.
And are you Mr. Abaye?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and is that how you pronounce your last name?
Abaye.
Abaye, right. So, Mr. Abaye, off the record, you informed the court that you're not a US citizen, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Defense, do you need an immigration attorney for him?
We do not, Your Honor.
All right. All right, if there's nothing else, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Mr. Abaye. How long do you all think this trial will last?
3 days.
Hmm?
3.
3 days? I thought you said 3 weeks. All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a date for 3 days. All right, your jury trial will be September 5th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. After that, you're excused after you do that and sign the acknowledgement of discovery.
I know in terms of beat him up, if he messing with him. Your lawsuit.
Well, it's a mischievous Tuesday.
We take it to. He was really good, right? Yeah.
It looks like.
What's that?
Bring your two people. Yeah, it's Cantu and Castro.
I think we're ready. Do you guys want?
So we.
Or like that.
I mean, it's, it is.
Well, so I'm gonna say.
Yes.
Just give me one moment. All right, everyone, please be seated.
Yes.
You know, but I can't wear those shirts because I just like mess with all day. I had a couple. I don't know what that says about me. I'm just expected to be. Yeah. Yeah, no, I did. So, yeah, we had I know, I did say I like that, you know, but then I think it was not.
Yes.
There was a different-
All right, we'll have him come out. Is he here?
He was here.
Oh, let's have me, where is he?
Mr. Warner? Michael Warner, unless he left. No, he's here.
All right, if you'll come forward, please. Hello, Mr. Warner. All right, if everyone could please whisper. Mr. Warner, it's the court's understanding that you didn't want a court appointed attorney.
But see, they told me they denied me because of my income, which is. I did not. I would have denied him today. I can afford one right now. I would have one right now. It's so I have right here was what I make. I got me a document. But
All right.
that's I'm not laying there, you know what I'm saying? So I need some type of legal representation.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. We're gonna get him an attorney today. Can you have Mac come?
Yeah, we have to have a seat.
All right, just have a seat.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Just wanted to say. I wanted to ask. Yes. I was the wrong person.
It was basically.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. No, we're on our way.
All right, thank you.
We're gonna do paperwork in both accounts. There's summer going. Yeah. Be honest.
Not yet.
It's really, well. For you.
Taking out these things. And there's.
Chili.
Switch. We'll get your back.
A lot of exits.
Maybe it's not all on, it sounds like. To me. So, yeah.
Yes, who's asking? Yes.
Oh, no.
I trust that the officer of the court is going to be interested. You are.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, yes, I am aware of her. What's the story? What's going on with all that? Ready? Here's my. He says that she's like driving down. I don't even know if that's a violation. Orders. This,
All right, thank you.
To the extent that that is happening, that's just, he's telling me, and I'm like, you see it doing that, give it on $100. Yeah, like, just know, like, that's what he's saying. So to the extent that is, it all happens.
All right, who's here on Kevin Robinson? Thank you. All right, and I'm going to need everyone to please whisper. We're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 10122, State of Texas versus Kevin Robinson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Rivera for the state.
Andrea Matos for the defense.
And are you Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Everyone, just give me a moment. I need to let them know it's extremely hot in the courtroom. All right, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Robinson, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, sure.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And just one moment. Showing you the true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of assault, family choking, strangulation? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront Any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent.
So
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
I do.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked? The court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Robinson, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Very much.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I did.
According to the plea, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. There is an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
I do.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea bargain agreement? State, I'm sorry, state defense.
Yes, Your
I'm
Honor.
keeping you on your toes.
I know.
All right, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in both places?
Yes. I
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There be no contact with Belinda Robinson and the Batterers Intervention Prevention Program. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
State offer states exhibit 1 in all those statements.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, you may continue to confirm. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I would just ask that you follow the plea agreement with us. The defendant has been doing therapy since this incident has occurred and has been taking AA and A classes once a week since this incident.
All right, do you have any children?
Grown children, Your Honor.
All right,
Yes.
do you have any grandchildren?
I don't have grandchildren, not biological grandchildren.
All right, so you say biological grandchildren, are you in any of these grandchildren's lives?
So I have a girlfriend that has grandchildren, so spend some time with them, but not any of my own biological grandchildren.
All right, and are you living with this girlfriend?
No, no.
Okay. Do you have your own place? Do you live by yourself?
I have a roommate.
Okay. And so I see this started over allegations of infidelity.
It did, Your Honor.
Well, you know my rules.
I do. I've listened to it and I removed from that toxic relationship. I removed myself out of it. I've done good to get my own therapy and stay absent from Belinda, and so it's made a difference in my life already.
All right, because you know, my feeling is that when you're in a relationship, if you think somebody is being unfaithful, you have two choices. One, you either accept it and forgive, or you say, I'm not going to forgive this, and you leave.
And we tried that, and the acceptance and forgiveness part was not doable, so the next part was the obvious.
Okay. All right, this is what the court will do. The court will sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication. Do you and Miss Robinson have any property together or anything of that nature?
No, in fact, our divorce was finalized yesterday, ironic as it is.
Okay. No contact with Belinda. I see you have cut ties. Sometimes that's hard to do.
It's
You
very
know,
hard.
the heartstrings still tug, but you know, you just go through each day.
I've
So-
sat in your courtroom long enough to know, and I've listened to your rulings and your advice. I was doing it while you were talking about it, so.
Okay, but do you have an orchid?
I do.
Oh, wow. Is it surviving?
Actually, it's not, so I don't know the secret to it, but I'm told that there is a secret, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're
Actually,
working.
two of them, a purple and a white one, but neither one of them are.
Okay, this is ironic. I have a purple and a white orchid in the back. The purple one is not doing great. The white one is flourishing. So we're working, everybody, and it's funny because everybody on the staff and all of the prosecutors and defense attorneys are trying to help me with it grow. So all of the purple flowers are falling off. So we're going to see what happens.
They are different genesis, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, or location, lighting, you never know.
Okay.
They're different species.
All right, so there'll be no contact with Belinda Robinson. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. The BIPP course. There's to be regular UAs, or either you can do the patch. The patch costs more, but with the patch, you just put it on and, well, they'll put it on. And then when it's time for it to be removed, you just go in. But with UAs, you know, you have to go down on a regular basis. Proof of employment. Within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. Do one field visit. And if everything is okay, then you can just continue it or spot check once in a while. The BIPP, I've already said the BIPP course. There is to be 100 hours of community service restitution. Or you can pay $7.25 per hour to the San Antonio Food Bank. I choose the San Antonio Food Bank because they're always running low. But if there is another charity that you would like to donate to, you're more than welcome to. But before you donate to it, make sure that it's on the list that probation has.
St. Jude's, is that on the list?
Oh, yes, you can most definitely donate to St. Jude's. So just give the information to probation. I don't want it to be an incident with George from Seinfeld where you're donating to the human fund. See, you get that, the young people don't get that, but you know what I'm saying.
Seinfeld fan.
Yes,
Seinfeld fan.
don't donate to the human fund, okay?
And who's aliens fan too, so I got your thing earlier with the aliens for sure.
All right. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Yes, thank you. So there'll be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Is there anything else? Probation? All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
So, Your Honor, I think I've been doing a lot already, so whatever else I have to do.
All right, and I'm not going to order the AA or NA meetings, but if you see that that's helping you, just continue to do that, okay?
I will. So,
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
I did, Your Honor, yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. You understand?
I do, yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Thank you for always dressing appropriately for court.
Well, thank you for recognizing it.
Yes.
You're
All right, so I want to talk about the tattoo.
Okay.
So what is the tattoo about?
Third eye.
See, I know it's the third eye, but I was wondering, is that related to the Masons? I guess I shouldn't say that out loud.
It is Illuminati. I come from a history in my family, you know, Illuminati, so.
Okay. I was thinking we're gonna do a national treasurer thing, Nicolas Cage or something.
Well, actually, through some of my therapy, I think through mindfulness and awareness, I kind of got in touch with my third eye.
All right, all right, well, good luck to you. So in this court, you know, communication is key. If there's an issue, let probation know. If you feel like they're not addressing it, you can always come in court and speak to me.
And I think you run a very fair courtroom, Your Honor. That's been my observation, so I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. You made my day. Thank you. Have a good one.
You have
Yes.
victim impact to present, the victim would like to be read for.
Okay, is she here?
She's not present.
So how do you want to present?
She sent an email.
All right, if you,
If you'd like to do it now, or we can do it.
if
after.
you can read it to him, or if you would like to give it to him to review.
I'd be interested in seeing it for sure.
Okay. So if you want to let him review it, but you'll need to return it to them, okay?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Oh, Mr. Cox?
Judge, I was enjoying in 187 district.
Oh, thank you. All right, who's here on Stephen Wellington?
Key, Judge, I'm here. He's here. Chief.
All right, Mr. Wellington. Oh, could I see the file on Stephen Wellington, please? Good morning, Mr. Wellington. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. I always appreciate that. All right, so Mr. Wellington, the state has filed a motion to dismiss your case and state, I see it's for missing witness. This is not a child, is it?
No,
Okay.
not a challenge.
All right, so Mr. Wellington, I'm going to sign the dismissal, but whatever brought you here today, you need to make some changes. You understand?
Yes.
Because otherwise you'll be right back here. So the state is not dismissing this case because they're saying the evidence is insufficient. They're saying that they don't have their witness. So maybe the complainant changed their mind and doesn't want to go forward. Or maybe the complainant is off living their best life somewhere. So my suggestion to you, without knowing things about this case, because nothing has been presented to me, I just know what's in the indictment. You probably should not have contact with that person. You understand?
Yes.
This case, and I'm sure your attorney told you, the range of punishment on this case is up to 20 years in prison. And if you were to go to jury trial and somebody were to find you guilty, you're looking at potentially 20 years in prison. And how old are you? 29? So you do the math. If you were to be sent to 20 years, well, I can do the math. That's easy math. That's 49 years, unless you are paroled out early. And once you get closer, the closer you get to 50, the more you're looking at the twilight of your life, unless you're planning on living past 100. You understand?
Yes.
I can say that because I'm in the twilight of my life. Or Cadiz, what do they call it? The winter of your life?
All right. Of course.
Yes. Oh, whoever, thank you. And Mr. Cox, you are always dressed appropriately for court.
Always a pleasure.
All right.
Can we be a speaker?
Yes, I don't know if you have anyone else on the docket, Mr. Cox.
I don't think so. We had something where we were able to resolve our differences on yesterday.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, who's here on Laura Romero? Or Romero? And where is Laura Romero? Please come forward. Hello,
Morning, Judge.
good morning. That is your color. You know, I believe everybody has a color. I always tell Bashan and everybody this. All right, Ms. Romero, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right. Where are we on this case? Today is the plea deadline date. So what are we doing?
We are not going to accept the plea today, Judge. We'd like
Okay.
to just set it for trial.
Okay. All right. Then we're gonna have you all. All right, Ms. Ferguson on Romero. We're gonna have you all come back at 11:30.
And Judge, I would like to say I'm not actually the attorney on this case. Sergio Ybarra is, and he is actually in Bernie right now. So
Yeah, tell him, call him, and let him know he's up for trial.
I will.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Maybe we be excused, Judge.
Yes, but be back here at 11:30.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Jose Ramirez. Who's the attorney on Jose Ramirez? Hi, and if I could have Jose Ramirez come down, please. Yes, I'm telling you, everybody's just wearing their colors that make them pop.
Thank you.
All right, what is happening with this case?
The state needs more time. They want to re-interview the complaining witness and they're missing some CPS records.
Okay, so discovery is CPS records. Anything else that's missing?
To my knowledge, no.
All right, who is the prosecutor on this case? It's family violence. It's Jose Ramirez. Oh, that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, and that's your color too, Brittany. Everybody's just wearing their color. All right. So counsel is telling me that CPS records are missing.
So it's unclear. There was a request done pre-indictment, a grand jury subpoena pre-indictment for the CPS records. They're not in the file. However, I was reviewing the police reports and it looks like there was, the detective had talked to the mom and the mom said CPS was not involved. So I don't know if there are any records, but we have not, there's nothing in the file indicating that CPS told us either way.
Okay, and then also, I'm being told that you need to talk to the complainant.
We do, yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On Jose Ramirez, can I have a 45-day reset, please?
Is this for discovery?
Yes.
I'll do August 31st.
All right, so we're gonna come back on August 31st. What's gonna be due on August 31st is the discovery. And state, will you be prepared to make an offer at that time?
Yes.
Okay. All right, is there anything else, counsel?
Nothing from defense, Judge.
All right, once you all sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anna, do you see Jose Ramirez on the docket?
He's on the page 14.
All right, thank you. All right, who is here on Betty Jean Gonzalez? All right. So you all ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge. Sitting on the right side, right, Judge?
Hmm?
I'm sitting on the correct side?
Yes, you are.
Sure.
Oh, and congratulations on the baby. She's such a cutie pie.
My gosh, Judge, my first two, brown
Mhm.
eyes, whole way through.
Mhm.
My wife's got green.
Mhm.
I've been, this little girl, if you take my wife's green eyes and then you take a little bit lighter shade of my brown
Mhm.
and you overlay them, that's my daughter's eye right now.
Aw,
Like that jungle green.
yes.
I don't know if it's gonna fade though.
You're like praying, please don't let it fade.
I'm like, please don't let it fade. At the same time though, dark green eyes with my skin color, I'm gonna have to fight. I'm gonna have to get shotgun light.
People will ask questions like, where are the dark green eyes coming from? And then she can tell everybody. but she is a cutie pie. It's hard to believe it's been a month.
You're telling me, Judge.
Time goes fast.
Yeah, especially when you're not getting any sleep.
Yeah,
Goes by real fast.
she's running the household. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right, court is going to call 2022 CR 9686B, State of Texas versus Betty Jean Gonzalez, AKA Betty Jean Gonzalez, one with a Z, one with an S. All right, can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Jump as for defense.
And are you Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. Are you saying Betty Jean Gonzalez, who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 9686B for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on February 2nd, 2023 for a period of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, ma'am. Violated condition number 1 on or about the 6th day of May, 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Betty Jean Gonzalez, AKA Betty Jean Gonzalez, committed the offense of possession controlled substance penalty group 1 in violation of condition number 1. And actually, Judge, if I could make an oral amendment to this, this doesn't allege the amount, but it should be possession.
Oh,
of-
you don't need to
Oh, okay.
put the amount in, counsel.
Okay, sorry, Judge.
Oh, no, no problem.
And we waive the other violations.
All right, to violation of condition number 1, how do you plead, true or not true?
True.
And with regards to the state's waivers, defense, do you have any objection?
No objections, Judge.
All right, did you understand by pleading the violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge. I've spoken to defense counsel and Deshaun with probation, and we'd like to refer the defendant to felony drug court, Judge. And if she's not accepted in the felony drug court, we'd like her to go to inpatient. Either SATIF or safety, Judge.
All right, defense, is that the agreement?
It is, Judge.
All right, Ms. Gonzalez, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Would you state your name for the record?
Betty Jean Gonzalez.
All right. So, Ms. Gonzalez, you know yourself better than I do, better than your attorney does, and better than probation does. If you want the treatment and you have a drug problem, I will most definitely refer you. I'll deny the motion, refer you to felony drug court. If felony drug court doesn't accept you, then you will be accepted into an inpatient treatment facility. But you know whether you can do this or not. Now, with the amount of drugs you had, even though it was reduced to possession, felony drug court may not accept you. And that's based upon the amount of drugs you have. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, so I can do that, or if you would like, I can revoke you and I will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. So it's completely up to you. When people want help, I want to give them help. I want people to do better. I note that you have people in your life, probably young people in your life, because I ordered parenting classes for you. But if you're not ready to take the help and ready to really work hard, because you're going to have to work really hard to maintain your sobriety, to not pick up any more cases. And I know with the possession less than, with a possession penalty group 1, I know the only difference between that case that you have and not having it is the fact that you didn't get a chance to use it. So I understand that. So what would you like to do? If you would like to discuss it with your attorney, you can. but you know yourself better than I do and he
I,
does.
I do need the help.
All
I
right,
really do want the help.
so you want the help?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm gonna give you the help, but you're gonna have to make better decisions. When things happen in your life, the go-to can't be, I'm gonna go out and get drugs, because otherwise what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna have another case and you're gonna be back before me. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to do a referral to felony drug court. If not accepted, then inpatient treatment. Either at, if probation, if you're recommending SATA for safety. All right, that'll be SATA. And if SATA doesn't accept her, then it will be ISF, cognitive and substantive track. And this is to happen while in custody. If you are accepted in felony drug court will be the person that is over your probation. The only time you'll come back to me is if you are unsuccessful, or if you're coming back to me asking me to appear at your graduation.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I always, if I'm in town, I will be at your graduation, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. And state is dismissing the other charge. There you go. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
Probation, is there anything else she needs? All right, thank you, good luck.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe excuse?
Yes. Who's there? Lionel Young?
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. And Mr. Young?
Mr. Young's down in the basement, Your Honor.
Oh, what is he doing in the basement?
Your Honor, just so you know, we didn't bring him up yet. He was found competent last week. I just got a offer on him. I'd like to talk to him about that offer over the next week or so. If we could get one reset in this matter.
Okay, so is there a reason was he just found competent in the basement?
No, Your Honor, he was found competent last week.
Okay, so why isn't he?
I told him I didn't think he needed to be brought up.
Oh,
I asked him.
Yeah.
He said.
You-
all
I
right,
said I didn't
yes.
think he needed.
If you can bring, are you able to bring him up? They'll bring him up, then
Okay.
we'll take him up.
I'm gonna step right across the 187, Judge. Oh, excuse me, the 379. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
All right, thank you.
It's just that we have too many inmates right now.
All right, so we'll take care of it as it comes, okay? Daniel Swengel. Hello, Mr. Otistorff, how you doing this morning?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Okay, and Mr. Otistorff, you're on this side.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Let me do that.
All right, are you ready to proceed on this, Mr. Otistorff? All right, court is calling 2020 CR 4185 State of Texas versus Daniel Antonio Swengel. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Jim Oltersdorf and Mr. Swindell.
Are you Mr. Swengel?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that how you pronounce your last name? Swingle, okay. All right, Mr. Swingle, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, and state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you have a chance to review those documents with your attorney, and did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Daniel Anthony Swingle,
Yes, ma'am.
who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 4185 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on June 5th, 2020 for a period of 5 years. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Daniel Antonio Swingill, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of July, August, September, October, November, December 2021, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December 2022, and January, February, March, April, May 2023 in violation of condition number 5.
All right, how do you plead to that, guilty?
Guilty.
I'm sorry, true or not true? No, the reason what is throwing me off is I just looked at this and I saw that this came from, I think this came from the 290th because Jennifer Pena is listed. So I guess it got transferred here. I'm sorry. How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
All right. Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Swingle,
Swingle.
Swingle,
Swingle.
Swingle. Okay. Mr. Swingle, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, the agreement is for 2 years TDC. The state's also going to take into consideration it's a misdemeanor cause number. I don't have that misdemeanor cause number right in front of me, but Hank is going to write up the dismissal right now.
All right, is that the agreement?
It is, Judge. Maybe if we can be heard at some point.
Yes, you can be.
Well, you're probably concerned about that assault. It's refreshingly 2 males. My client basically got into a fight at the jail. So it's not a male and a female, which is good to know. I haven't had one of those in probably a year.
Mhm.
Again, hasn't been good at all about reporting, but his record is not bad at all. That's why the state has presented a recommendation to you of 2.
Okay.
We realize, and Mr. Swingle realizes and is concerned over the fact that he's on deferred and full range is punishment is available to the court. So we're deeply concerned about that, but we're hoping that the court will follow that recommendation. Again, we've examined, both myself and the DA examined his record. It's not bad. When he was arrested again this time, he didn't resist, he didn't evade, he didn't do anything that would cause any problems. He wasn't caught shoplifting, for example. So we're just hoping the court will go along with the 2.
Okay. Mr. Swingle, is there anything you wish to say?
Yeah, I got 5 kids, so
5 children, remember kids are baby goats?
yeah, I got 5 kids. I got a wife,
5 children,
5 children.
yes.
5 children I'm trying to go home to and just working hard to change my life. Really am.
Okay. All right, the court will follow the agreement. Sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. So were the tattoos painful?
No, I mean, the side of my arm was because I got the scar right here, so,
Mhm.
but not really.
Are you going to get
I
any more?
didn't hurt the most.
All right. Oh, and why did you do that?
I don't know.
All right, so you have a felony conviction. I'm sure your attorney has told you now, if you were to pick up any more criminal cases, you would be known as a repeater, which means whatever level felony that is, the punishment range would increase by 1 level. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You say you have 5 children, then you need to do better by them. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you for hearing us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's here? Nathan Martinez?
Hello.
Hello, everybody's just wearing colors that are pop, making them pop. You know?
Well, you know me, I
Yes,
went to school in New Orleans. I love bright colors. And
you have to.
this is the city with Fiesta.
Oh, there you are.
My client wore bright colors as well, Judge, as you
Oh,
can see.
awesome.
Yes.
So what are we here for?
Judge, I confirmed with probation earlier, and apparently because of some past affiliations, he's not eligible to go to ISF or DDRF.
Mhm.
And so there was going to be a recommendation of sending him to ISF,
Okay,
state ISF. And
Judge, just to let you know, my client's been in for nearly a year and in the county jail. More recently, though, he just learned that his 11-year-old daughter there's a CPS investigation going on involving the daughter that another man might have touched her inappropriately, done some things. So my client is very upset about that, as you can imagine, and is asking if there's any chance he could be out at least for a little while to try to see his daughter and be with her while this is going on.
Right. Well, one, I need proof of the CPS case. Oh, look, he came prepared.
Right, I'm just learning of this morning too, so.
Oh, well, Mr. Kuntz, if you want to look at it and review it and
It's.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, probation, are you aware of the open CPS case? All right, and I'm assuming that this is involving someone other than your client.
Correct, Judge. It's apparently his daughter has a sister that is not his biological child. And it's the father of that child that's accused of perhaps being inappropriate with his daughter, right? Yes.
All right. So probation, he was waiting for transfer for drug treatment.
Your Honor, so he was ineligible for DDRF or any of our local facilities due to previous involvement in a gang.
Mhm.
So the tap was it was redone and they are now requesting state ISF.
All right. And so I see where he pled on this case, May 23rd.
Was sentenced probably May 23rd, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And what is the wait time for the ISF?
Your Honor, the wait time is going to be approximately 30 days.
And we're sending him ISF because of mental health issues or?
State ISF will address any substance abuse or mental health issues.
Oh, let me see if I can.
And Judge, from my perspective, having known my client now for some time and representing him, he has struggled with substance issues for some time. And in fact, every arrest he's ever had has been as a result of substances. And so for his long-term well-being, I think he does need counseling, whether that's outpatient or inpatient. My client would obviously ask for outpatient right now.
What is his criminal history? Because I don't have that.
Your Honor, on your court summary on page,
Okay, let me
I think
see.
it begins on page 2 and goes on to page
That one
3.
I don't have. No, I have.
Under it's going to be under SR, the SRs.
Okay, thank you. Let me go to SR. And which page did you say?
Go to page 2 and page 3. You do have probably 2 Martinez's.
Yes, I do. Okay. So I can't send him to felony drug court. He's already been denied.
Judge, refresh my memory, was he denied because of the prior gang affiliation?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought.
All right, this is what I'll do. I will have him sent to ISF defense if you want to talk to felony drug court and explain about the gang affiliation, whether he's still in it or not. You're more than welcome to do that. And if you are able to have felony drug court accept him, then that's fine. But I'm going to recommend then that he go to ISF. And the reason why, Mr. Martinez, you do have a drug issue, because I never would have recommended you for felony drug court if you didn't. And this whole child protective service case that you have. I've done plenty of those. I think your attorney has experience with those as well. Regardless of what's happening, they're going to want you to have treatment too. And sometimes you're on better footing if you have treatment. They're not going to terminate your rights normally if it's because you're in inpatient treatment. You understand?
Yes, I was just worried about if her mother was gonna continue to have custody of her, and if she wasn't, then I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. I'm in the dark about all this, so.
Well, normally, you should have an attorney on that side if they're opening up a legal case. And what they will do is, even though you're in custody, they're supposed to actually have you brought over, have you by Zoom for any hearings that they have. And if you have an attorney for you over there appointed to you, they're supposed to come see you. Okay. But normally in cases, I don't know the specifics of yours, but normally in CPS cases, what ends up happening with those type of charges, they do their investigation. They will ask both parents if they have someone that the child can be placed with, because if those allegations are to be found true, normally they don't place the child back with the parents until after a service plan has been completed, and they think that all of the dangers have been alleviated. Sometimes in cases like that, they may return the child to the parent who had the child when the allegations are alleged to have happened, but they'll only do that normally if the person who's accused of committing the offenses are out of the house and that person has no more contact with them.
And I think one of my conditions was I wasn't able to have like any kind of custody of her. I think, or if I heard wrong, I don't know if I heard.
I'm sure there may be no contact, but your attorney will be able to speak to you about that. And that's something that if you are completing your service plan, if there is a service plan that results from this, your attorney can always come in and ask for different conditions to be changed.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything
There are
else?
no contact orders as a result of this case that he's on.
I
probation?
don't think so.
I don't believe so either.
Let me see what I've written. There are no contacts with several people. And probation will be able to tell you the names of those people. I believe this is a Pizzuto and a Sanchez, but they'll be able to give you the exact names.
Okay, so he's good. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. So we'll do probation. He's the remaining custody. We'll do the state ISF. And counsel, if you want to talk to felony drug court and explain and see if they'll accept him. If they do, then he can go to felony drug court if they accept him.
Okay, I'll make one more.
Do you want, both tracks? The substance and cognitive?
Yes. All right, is there anything else?
No, Judge, I'll make one more pass at drug court.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, who is here on Lisa Marie Garcia?
That would be me, Your Honor.
Ah, Robert Maurer.
I was released.
Okay,
Wait, I'm over here.
yes.
I'm gonna bring my own signs.
Yes.
I'm gonna put some stickers up.
Hey, I appreciate that. That would help everybody. You're always so helpful.
Oh.
All right, so today is the plea deadline date.
And Judge, we're rejecting the plea bargain.
Okay. All right, state
Yes, Your Honor.
on Lisa Marie Garcia.
Garza, Judge.
Garza, I am so sorry.
On there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
this
have a
is-
Lamisa. Is she Garza and Garcia?
No, Garza. This is, yeah, Garza. There is a Garcia on the docket.
Okay.
On the recall.
What are the chances of having two Lisa Maries? All right, so on this case, what I need is I need the acknowledgement of discovery.
Okay, Judge.
The last time we were here, it states state doesn't have access to the complainant's psychological records, so defense, you'll have to get those.
Right.
So how long are you all expecting this trial to last?
I mean, case in chief, Judge, for 2 days.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
on this case, they need a jury trial setting.
September 5th.
Works.
All right, if you'll sign the reset
Yes,
form
ma'am.
and sign the acknowledgement of discovery, then you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I'll just ask her.
Actually, I have two people's two PSI set that day, so maybe she'll let me move them both. I am, yes. Judge, can I approach when you finish what you're doing?
Sure, just give me a moment.
Thank you.
I will let you skip because I know you're in the jury trial.
Thank you. Well, we're waiting on a juror. I have
Yes.
two PSI sit with you on Thursday.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to get them moved a couple of weeks, so I want to bother, so I won't have to mess with it on Thursday.
All right, if you'll have them pull the files
Okay. I'll
and
get
we'll
it.
take care of
All
that.
right, thank you.
You're welcome. Lisa Marie Garcia. Who's your attorney?
No, I'm Garza.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, just have a seat. We'll wait for your attorney. Oh, no, you're here for a compliance hearing. Come forward, please.
Nobody's there. Door's locked.
Oh, just give us a moment.
Curtis Williams, 2022. 9994. And John Dominguez. I don't have his case. I can find this somewhere.
All right, and when are you asking for those to be reset to?
Like 2 weeks.
All right. Are any of those contested or no?
No, they're PSIs.
Okay. All right, so you're saying the week of July 24th?
Yes, please.
All right, what date, Ms. Ferguson?
Maybe 27.
All right, so Norma, if you can make sure those files are pulled. Okay,
All right, and I'll tell my guys the 27th. Okay, may I be excused? Go back.
Yes.
Thank you, Norma. Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. Yes. Alexander Politos. Hello.
Good morning, Judge.
All right, this is family violence, failure to register. All right, I know you were recently appointed by the MAC. Where are we on discovery? Is there any outstanding discovery?
I don't believe so, Judge. I have conferred with the state and they're going to look into a couple of things for me and make me an offer. And I do believe by the next setting, we'll be able to knock this out.
All right, state, when are you planning on looking into a couple of things and what things are we looking into?
There's there was an address that he was staying at. They wanted to make sure that, yes, he was indeed staying with that person,
Okay.
as well that he reported the transfer from one house to the next and then back to the other house before they release him, because that is the person he'll be staying with. If granted probation.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this in 3 weeks? No, it's just a regular case. It's Alexander Politos. All right, August 7th.
August 7th, Judge. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Oh, this is done. James Bradley, James Earl Bradley. All right. Yes, where are we?
On this one, Judge, we are going to provide the state with an affidavit from the alleged victim, and they're going to review the case. Hopefully, we might actually be able to get something done. I hope by actually his next court date in misdemeanor courts is the 13th. We're hoping to maybe knock something out at that time that will TIC this case.
All right, is that correct, State?
That's correct.
All right, and when is the misdemeanor case set?
13th. This one.
Which court is this?
I have to double check. It's either 7 or 13, Judge. 7.
All right, and so that one's set for the 13th. All right, what we're, Norma, can you put this for jury trial the week of the 24th? And then if it's dismissed, of course, we won't be here. What date? Yes. All right, so we're gonna come back on July 24th.
Thank you. Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, that's done. Are we ready on Lionel Young or still waiting on that? Joseph Anzaldua? Okay, we're just waiting for your attorney. All right. Today's the plea deadline date.
Judge, I talked with Mr. Banks about a plea offer, but we did get some new information regarding the assault case that we gave to the prosecutor. I think he wants to follow up on that.
All right, when was this new information tendered?
We just got it a few days ago. We gave it to them today.
All right. Norma? On this case, can you recall it for the 24th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form for the 24th. That's going to be your jury trial date.
For July 24th?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right. Once you're welcome. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, thank you. You too. Start. Laura Romero. Oh, that's coming back for trial. Philip Acosta.
Present with counsel here.
All right, Mr. Acosta.
Oh, Travis. Okay.
Okay, I was like, I was gonna- I'm Philip Acosta.
We're getting called to the next setting.
All right, do you have all the discovery in this case?
We do, Your Honor.
All right, so I need an acknowledgement of discovery sign. State, were you prepared to make an offer today?
Yes, we can make an offer if one hasn't already been made.
All right, has an offer been tendered?
Did you have an offer?
Not that I have one in my notes, Your Honor, but we do intend on pursuing trial.
All right, so state you need to make an offer today.
Okay.
And Ms. Ferguson, on this case, if you can recall it in 30 days for plea deadline date.
Is it gonna be that August 7th?
August 14th.
Okay, understood.
All right, August 14th will be your plea deadline date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, once you sign the reset form and sign the acknowledgement of discovery, you're excused.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Okay, get you those right away. You wanna wait for me right here? I'm gonna get you a receipt.
Christopher Cantu. Oh,
Judge.
good morning. Is there an application in this case or no?
There's not, Judge.
All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 0403, State of Texas versus Christopher Cantu. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Travis Banks, the state of Texas.
Defense.
Orlando Castro.
And are you Mr. Cantu?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cantu, I'm showing you what's entitled counsel, I'm showing you what's entitled acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Cantu, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, the state makes a motion to amend the indictment to add count 3 for assault family second and further, the state would make a motion to waive and amend the other counts and proceed only on count 3 and waiving the repeater count.
We have no objections to that, Judge.
All right, so since there's no objection and you're doing a completely new count, account 3,
Yes, Your Honor.
then you all need to do a motion and put it in the motion because otherwise the record won't have anything.
All right, the state will file a motion, Your Honor.
All right, so if they'll do that, then we'll take this matter up. Okay.
We'll just come back.
Ciro Castro.
Back again.
All right, is there an application in this case?
There is, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 7774, State of Texas versus Ciro Castro. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Orlando Castro for defense.
And are you Mr. Castro?
No.
How do you pronounce your first name?
Idiom.
Okay, I'm gonna have a problem with that. I'm just gonna say Mr. Castro, okay? But I'm gonna work on it. Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
There is some discovery that I've discussed with the state and my client that there are maybe some body camera footage. We're prepared to go forward without that. We've reviewed the discovery that was made available.
All right. Mr. Castro, you understand that your counsel is saying that there's body cameras that he has not viewed. Knowing that, do you still wish to go forward without reviewing the body camera? I'm going to show you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Going to show you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we're gonna go on count 2 and we are waiving the enhancement paragraph.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged in count 2 with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Castro, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 2. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 7 years in the prison. They're remaining silent on your applications. They're taking in consideration County Court Cause number 647494. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to the offense in count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence?
State offer state exhibit 1 in all attachments.
No, Judge.
Going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be proceeding with evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, police reports, laboratory reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find, oh, I'm sorry, you can be excused.
Judge.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Ms. Ferguson, I need a PSI date. And probation, this will be PSI and TAP. 2021 CR 7774. And he's proceeding on count 2 only. All right, your PSI date will be set for August 24th, counsel. If we receive the PSI back before then, we'll have sentencing before then, but that's going to be your date. The court will make a decision on your application based upon that PSI report I received and any other information that's tendered to me as evidence. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes. What is his name? Which page is he on? All right. Deputy Laura, is he dressed for trial?
He is, Your Honor. He's just causing a disturbance downstairs. So
All right, are you all able to bring him up or no? Yes, have him brought up. Who's here on Vanessa Varela? Thank you. Is she on bond or no?
No, Judge.
All right, why is she, this is the first dress oh, she's dressed for trial. All right, thank you.
Yeah, it was a plea bargain deadline, but I guess they dressed her out.
All right. All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 0653, State of Texas versus Vanessa Varela. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense,
John Winter for the defendant.
and are you Vanessa Varela?
Yes.
Counsel, you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Varela, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you're giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
No, ma'am. I mean, yes.
Oh, that's okay. Sometimes that last question is confusing to everyone, so I'll ask it again. All right, you understand all the rights I've just explained to you?
Oh, yes.
All right, did you understand by entering a plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
No. I didn't know.
All right.
Remember, we talked about how you have the right to a jury trial, the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses, and the right to remain
Oh,
silent.
yes.
And
yes.
remember that I said that in pleading no contest, you're going to be giving up those rights, right?
Yes.
So the judge is asking if you understand that you're giving up those rights.
Oh,
All right, do you understand that you're giving up those rights?
yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take it one at a time, okay? You understand you have the right not to testify. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand because you're in a plea bargain agreement, you can testify, you can be forced to testify. Do you understand that? You have to
Yes.
answer.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you understand that in cases such as this, the state would have to call witnesses to prove their case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so because you're in a plea, the state's not going to call any witnesses. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, if the state were to call witnesses, your attorney would get a chance to ask questions of them. You understand that?
Yes.
So because you're in a plea, what that means is the state is not going to call any witnesses and your attorney is not going to get a chance to ask them questions. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the other thing you have a right to is you have a right to have a jury trial. So because this is a felony case, there will be 12 jurors on your case and the state would have to present their evidence and a jury would decide whether or not you were guilty or not guilty. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so because you're entering a plea bargain agreement, you understand you're not going to have a jury trial. Do you understand that?
Ma'am.
And you understand that your attorney is not going to question anybody. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that you may have to testify. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, so do you want to continue with this plea? Or do you want a jury trial?
What's the agreement that we have? You remember what that agreement?
Do you want to
is?
talk to her some more, counsel?
Sure, Judge.
All right, so I'll let you all discuss some more. John Rodriguez. Who's the attorney for John Rodriguez? All right, Mr. Rodriguez, your attorney is not here. Just have a seat.
We have steps in the hall.
Oh, you're John Rodriguez. Okay, Mr. Rodriguez. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, come forward. All right, so counsel, is your client accepting the offer or not?
Your Honor, at this time, we are not. I want to qualify, Your Honor. So my client was in lifetime recovery and had been in lifetime, and we provided certificates to the state. He's still in therapy. I'm trying to obtain notes from the therapist. Our goal moving forward is to accept a plea bargain and ask the judge or the court for drug court, but I'm trying to get the paperwork that I need so that I can properly proceed.
So is there,
A second setting? I'm asking for the court to kindly extend me another setting so that I can get that and move forward.
all right, can we go off the record for a moment, please? All right, Ms. Ferguson on John Rodriguez. If you can give them a 45-day reset, please.
Come back on August 24th.
All right, August 24th, and Mr. Rodriguez, continue with your treatment, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Thank you, Your
all
Honor.
right, just get the reset form, then you're excused.
Good, we're ready whenever you are.
All right, thank you. That's done. All right, could I see the parties back on Vanessa Varela? We're back on the record in 2023 CR 0653, State of Texas versus Vanessa Varela. Counsel, did you have a chance to confer with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you believe she understands the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, so Ms. Varela, but I have to make sure on the record that you understand, okay?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go through it again. We'll just start from this point, all right?
Okay.
So you do understand that your attorney has the opportunity to question witnesses.
Yes.
You understand by entering this plea bargain agreement that the state is not going to call any witnesses, so there's nobody for your attorney to question.
Yes.
All right. You understand that you don't have to testify. If this were a jury trial, you wouldn't have to testify. Do you understand?
Yes.
So because you are entering this plea, you may have to testify. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you understand that you have a right to a jury trial. So 12 people would sit in the jury box. The state would call their witnesses. You understand?
Yes.
So because you're entering a plea, there's not going to be a jury. You understand that?
Yes.
So did you intend to enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
No.
Okay.
Maybe just ask for.
All
I
right.
mean, yes.
All
Maybe
right.
just ask.
Sorry.
No. So here's the thing. There's no need to be nervous. There's not going to be a trap door that opens up for you. How old are you?
19.
All right. How far did you go in school?
11.
Okay. So do you want a jury trial? Do you want to go to a jury trial where 12 people would sit in the box? It wouldn't be the people you see in the box now. It will be just 12 people who don't know anything about your case. The state would call witnesses. And your attorney would have a chance to question those witnesses. Do you want a jury trial?
No, no, ma'am.
Do you want to enter into this plea?
Yes.
All right. Do both parties, the state and defense, do you believe that she understands the rights that she's giving up, defense?
Yes, Judge, and I will say that she was evaluated and she was found competent.
All right. State, do you have any objections with going forward?
No, Your Honor, I believe in Mr. Hunter has spoken to his client. I haven't spoken to her personally, but I believe that he has gone over with the plea bargain and also he's gone over everything with.
Okay,
I'm
thank
good.
you. All right. Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Ms. Varela, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine. The state is recommending deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 696,657. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review this paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State Exhibit number 1 with all its attachments.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may continue to confirm. I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review? Thank you. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, just that this is her first run-in with the law. As I stated, she was evaluated and found competent. There may be some mental health issues in here. I'm not really sure. But she is here with family. Her family has shown up every time that she's had court. Her plan is to take care of business on probation, put this behind her. She's got children who are being taken care of by their grandmother right now. So her plan is to stay with them and like I said, knock this out and put it behind her.
All right, so what drugs have you used in the past?
Marijuana.
Okay.
And that's it.
I don't think marijuana makes you steal a fire truck. So is there anything else?
Ice.
Okay, so how often were you using ice?
2 weeks.
Okay. Is there anything, and the reason why I'm asking you these questions is because I'm going to follow your agreement, but I'm trying to figure out what conditions to give you so you'll be successful, okay? So there's ice, marijuana, anything else other than those two?
No, that's it. Oh, Xanax.
Xanax? All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, so the children that your grandmother, well, is your grandmother the person who's taking care of the children, your grandmother? How old are they?
There's 2 and 4.
And are you currently expecting or no?
No,
Okay, 2 and 4. All right, and was Child Protective Services involved, or did your grandmother just step up to take care of the 2 children?
yes, my grandma stepped up.
Okay. All right, and are you going to be living with your grandmother?
Yes, ma'am.
And does your grandmother want you there?
Yes.
Who's the grandmother?
She's at home.
No, she's right there. All right, could the grandmother?
Sure. And she is a Spanish speaking judge,
Do you speak Spanish?
a little bit.
Have an interpreter coming.
All right. Well, I just want to know if she's okay with her living with her.
¿Tiene problemas con venirse a vivir contigo?
Thank you.
Es el plan, ¿verdad? Para venirse a vivir contigo, ¿verdad? So, yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you, George, and thank you. All right.
Gracias.
Gracias. De nada. That's all I know.
Well done.
All right. Thank you. All right. Come back up.
Oh, and that was her mother, not her grandmother.
So it's the grandmother to the
The
children.
children's grandmother.
Okay. All right. This is what I'm going to do. There's going to be a $1,500 fine that will be probated. 2 years, well, I'm going to do 3 years deferred adjudication. Counsel, if she completes everything, you can always come back and ask for her to be terminated early.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once she completes those, then the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. So what do you want to do with the rest of your life? What are your hopes, your dreams? What's your dream job?
Working at fast food
Okay.
as manager.
Oh, awesome. Well, that can be done. So what are you going to be doing to make sure that happens?
Do my probation
Okay.
and attend my parenting classes.
All right. So I'm going to ask that you get employment too. Okay.
Yes.
So if you want to be the manager of a fast food place, and who knows, eventually own a fast food place, that means that you've got to apply to those places, because when you apply, maybe they will, but sometimes they don't. You don't come in as manager. You got to start at the bottom level, then work your way up. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's no harm in that. I used to work at service merchandise. It doesn't exist anymore, but I've had probably a lot of jobs, you could think of. I used to rake yards. I don't think they rake anymore. They use the blower now. People are wimps. You need to get out there with the rake in the hot sun. So I used to do that, back it up. So whatever your dreams are, that's your dream, and it's a good one. And maybe you can help McDonald's. Their fries don't taste the same anymore. All right, I'm going to take in consideration County Court Cause number 6-96657. I'm going to do a referral to felony drug court. I'm going to do that while she's in custody. Counsel, if you call them and tell them to expedite it, they'll expedite it, and they'll probably be able to see her this week.
Awesome, Judge.
Yes, I'm putting more work for you. So we're going to do a referral to felony drug court. And the reason why I'm doing that, because they'll help you with your drug issues, and also if there's any type of mental health issues, because I don't want to send her out into the world and then we're right back here. There'll be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs, and I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And proof of employment within 45 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And I'm also going to put in no unsupervised contact with minors. The only reason why I'm doing that is because of the issue with the ice and the drugs. Once she's in a program, once she's starting her parenting classes, I'll probably lift that. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need for me to be successful? All right. And Bashan, if you could put also in there that she's to reside with her mother. Okay. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so if there's any questions that you have about anything, let probation know. If for some reason you feel as though probation is not answering your issues, you can always come back to court and let me know what they are, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, miss.
Oh, you're so welcome. And stay out of fire trucks unless they invite you, okay? Valerie Martinez. Valerie Martinez. Who's the attorney? Oh, she. All right, Miss Martinez, if you'll come forward. Okay, I'll take that up right after this. Hello, Miss Martinez.
Hi,
How are you doing?
getting better.
All right.
Besides my birthday today.
Oh, happy birth month. I
Thank
believe you should celebrate the entire month. All right, so we have an issue where you're not willing to participate in the program that I sent you to.
To,
Is this the incorrect one?
No, Your Honor, you're correct.
All right, so we have an issue. When I send people to programs, it's because it's a program that you need.
yes.
All right,
What
so-
one?
it was Esperanza Court.
Oh, yes, I was on Zoom with them.
Oh, yes, but they're saying that you say you don't want to participate.
No, I told her, yeah. I told her, yeah, it was just that she was telling me about prostitution or whatever. And I told her that I'm not a prostitution thing, but I'm willing to participate.
Ms. Abrams?
Your Honor, the note that we received back from Esperanza Court on 22 indicates not willing to participate in the program.
No, I told her, yeah. I told her, yes. Cause there's a lot of helpful things that they help you with. And
Okay, let me ask you the important question, and we're not on the record. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
it's gonna come out. I've been taking my Xanax.
And have you been using those appropriately?
Yes, I take one a day.
All right. Ms. Abrams?
And my doctor,
Your Honor, we can re-refer.
Okay. All right, I'm going to re-refer you to Esperanza Court.
yeah. I'll
All right.
do it.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
I don't want another notation from them saying that you don't want to participate. That program is there to help you
Yes,
so that you will not come back
yeah.
before a court with these same issues. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right. And if you graduate, I will show up at your graduation.
Okay,
Okay. All right. So you're going to talk to them and let them know that you want to be in the program.
yeah,
Okay. So probation is going to speak with you and tell you what you need to do.
okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Who is the interpreter here for?
For Mr. Schaefer, and then we have.
All right. So Mr. Schaefer, who's your client?
My client is named Jorge Macias Castro.
All right, Norma, I don't have the file for his client. That's okay.
Here.
That's okay.
Ahorita que van a dar el aparato para que escuches lo que está diciendo el intendente.
All right. All right, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay. All right, so we're here for jury trial.
We're set on the calendar for that, Your Honor.
All right, so we're gonna go to jury trial today.
Judge, there's a problem with that. Not
Alright.
sure how long this next case is going to take. I have travel plans to be out of the country on Friday. I have filed my notice with the district clerk's office.
All right, could I see the notice? And counsel, if you're gonna be out of town, I'll need a motion for continuance. State, is this gonna go beyond Friday?
It probably will, Your Honor.
All right, so I'll need a motion for continuance.
No problem. I'll sit down and write one.
All right, okay, if you'll write that and then we'll bring this back up. Unless the state is gonna object to an oral motion.
No, there's no.
All right, so we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 10365, State of Texas versus Jorge Macias Castro. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
George Schaefer for defendant, Your Honor.
You know, he's interpreting. Oh, if you all could be in the center. All right, for the defense.
George Schaefer for defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Jorge Macias Castro?
Yes.
All right, and we have an interpreter. If you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Cesar Chavez.
All right. All right, today we're here for jury trial. Defense, do you have an oral motion?
Correct, Your Honor. I'm asking the court to continue this case. I have plans to be outside of the country starting Friday.
Any objection to the defense's oral motion for continuance?
The state has no objection, Your Honor.
All right, and where are you headed?
Mexico.
And how long are you going to be there?
I will be there for a week. I should return to duty on the 24th of July.
All right, Ms. Ferguson? Are you able to reset this for July 24th that week?
Sure, I can do July 25th.
July
Oh,
25th?
Yes. Is everyone available for July 25th?
I'll have to check with the parents on this case. But if I am agreeable to that date tentatively until I can get confirmation from the witnesses.
All right. So the court is going to grant the defense's oral motion for continuance without objection. And Mr. Macias, we're going to call this back for July 20, you said 25th, Ms. Ferguson? We're going to call it back for July 25th. That's your jury trial date. Of course, if the state is not able to have the witnesses here on that date because they were expecting it to go on that date, we may go on a different date. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, and what I need, is there any further discovery that's been recently turned over?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then we'll see you back on the 25th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And George, I do think
Okay, who else are you here for? Norma, who else is an interpreter? All right, what's the name of the case?
John Carlos Torres Rivera,
All right.
2023-0789.
Yes, I have it. All right,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 0789, State of Texas versus Juan Carlos Torres Rivera. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state
Ruben Herrera for the state.
defense?
Armando Roman for the defendant.
And are you one Carlos Torres Rivera?
Yes.
All right. And just so the record can be clear, even though this is the same interpreter, I'll swear you in again. Do you solemnly swear or affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, if you'll lower your hand and state your name for the record.
Cesar Chavez.
Mr. Rivera, all of the documents that I'm going to be reviewing with you are in English. Were those explained to you in Spanish?
Sí, yes.
All right, counsel, do you speak Spanish?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you speak Spanish fluently?
Yeah, I do.
Were you able to go over these documents that are written in English and Spanish with your client?
I was.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor, yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Rivera, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Rivera, I see you're shaking your head to me up and down. For the record, you're going to need to answer. You understand?
Yes.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we are proceeding as to count 2, the lesser included charge of assault, bodily injury, family, household.
Any objection?
No objection, no.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Court's Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family, household? That's a Class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
No.
Let me repeat it. Mr. Rivera, do you understand the rights that I've explained to you?
Yes.
Are you giving up those rights?
Yes.
And are you entering into a plea in this case?
Yes.
And is that what you wish to do?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent
Yes,
and
Your
was
Honor.
legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rivera, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No. No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Did you understand if I were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, I could find you guilty and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, the state is proceeding on count 2 and the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family, or household. They're recommending deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Yaritza, Yaritza, Rivera Ortiz. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
The only, if I may, Your Honor, the only issue that we had and the state agreed to remain open on it was the no contact with Yaritza. Yaritza is his mom. He lives with his mom. She is not here today, but we were asking that it would be no harmful or injurious contact.
All right, for me to lift a no contact order where it's a complaint and it's family violence, they'll need to be present. If you would like, I will take the plea. And if you want her to appear by Zoom, we could have her here tomorrow exactly at 9 a.m. or either have her here at Thursday to continue the sentencing.
Thursday would work out for me.
Okay. All right. Did you review the waiver of appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending 2 years deferred adjudication and anger management. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offense of assault, bodily injury, family, household, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offers states exhibit 1 in all attachments.
Any objections? Mr. Rivera, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. And we're going to come back on July 13th. And if you can have the mom by Zoom. And if we can go off the record for a moment. Has anyone thought about referring this to the mental health court?
No, Your Honor.
All right, if you all want to, because I see there were some depression issues and I think the police was called for him to receive help, and that's just what I'm reading out of the police report. So if you all want to, you can refer this to, I'll refer it to mental health court. It may take longer than July 13th, since I would recommend that it be referred to mental health court. And mental health court does not take convictions or deferred cases. So if mental health court is willing to accept it and you all want a motion for a new trial and they accept it, I will grant your motion for new trial and then mental health court can take care of the issues.
I'll explain it to him. I'll see what this.
All right. Ms. Abrams? I'm going to want this referred to mental health court. And so if he ends up being accepted into mental health court, then they'll come back with a motion for a new trial, and I'll grant the motion for new trial so he can be in mental health court.
Your Honor, is it a misdemeanor?
Yes. Well, they're pleading on a misdemeanor. It's actually a felony, but they plead it down to misdemeanor.
Yes.
So if you could see if we could get him with the felony mental health court and see if they'll accept him.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we're coming back on July 13th. It may end up taking longer than July 13th since we're referring it to there. But I think probably everybody would agree it's better not to have a deferred if you can be in mental health court.
I'll talk to him.
All right, so we'll set it back here for July 13th to see where we are with the evaluation.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else?
Nothing to say. No. Do you still want them on Zoom?
Yes, on July 13th, because at least we'll have that out of the way that yes, she is okay with him living with her. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Was there a third one? or-
Is there another one?
Okay,
That's all.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
Judge.
Have a great one.
You too, thank you.
Lionel Young. Who's the attorney for Lionel Young? All right, we'll go on to the next one. Yes. Yes. Christopher Cantu.
Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
Okay, all right, I'll take that up next. All right, we are back on the record on 2023 CR 0403, State of Texas versus Christopher Cantu. Mr. Cantu, I've shown you the true bill of indictment. You stated to the court that you reviewed that with your attorney. Counsel, you stated that you have no objection to the waiving of the reading.
That's correct, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, the state's making a written motion to amend the indictment for assault family second.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
Oh. Yes. All right, Mr. Cantu, you understand that the state is making a substantive change to the indictment? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that your attorney has the right for 10 days to prepare for trial once a change has been made? All right, knowing that, do you still, sorry, that's okay. Knowing that, do you still wish to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and counsel, are you waiving your 10 days?
Yes, Judge.
And have you represented Mr. Cantu for more than 10 days?
I have.
All right, then the court will grant the state's motion without objection. All right, Mr. Cantu, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on count 3 and the offense is assault family second offense? That's a 3rd degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Cantu, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 3, assault family second offense. Punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There are no applications. Did you understand that if the court finds this is affirmative finding of family violence, then you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent? Did you understand the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense? Is that the
Yes,
plea?
Judge.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Can I have parties approach?
Yes.
That's okay. All right, and I'll just attach this. All right, state, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor. State offers State Exhibit 1 and 2.
No objection, Judge.
All right, Mr. Cantu, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept it to evidence, states exhibits 1 and attachments, and review the same. All in states, you may be excused to continue to confer.
Thank you.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Judge.
All right. Court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Teresa Marie Cantu. All right, is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Here's the thing. How old are you?
I am 46.
You're getting close to that age where you're in the twilight of your life. I can say that because I'm in the twilight of my life. You're gonna have to change your ways. Otherwise, you're gonna be the grandfather at the prison. When people want to know how things are going, they're gonna say, ask the oldest person here, and it's gonna be you. Don't be that person. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you're staying with your daughter, you can't invite other people over. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Lisa Marie Garcia. Hello, Miss Garcia.
Hello.
All right, let me pull up. The internet is working very slow for me today. Oh, it just popped up, but thank you. All right, so Miss Garcia, these are the issues with you. And I understand that people have issues in their life. And I understand that you have children, but you're on probation. You got to do the classes.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't do the classes, what's going to end up happening is a motion to revoke is going to be filed and you may be at the prison. And they don't allow children at the prison. They don't allow the children at the Bexar County Jail. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So who helps you with your children?
Currently right now, nobody.
Where's your mom?
I don't know, probably at home or working.
All right, so do you trust your mom to babysit? That's either yes or no.
No,
All right, who do you trust to babysit?
nobody. I had my kids in daycare, but I had to take them out.
All right, so you're on probation.
Mhm.
You must do the classes. If you do not do the classes, what's going to end up happening is a motion to revoke is going to be filed. If it's in proper order, I'm going to sign it. And then the police are going to come pick you up wherever you may be. If you're at your house, they're going to come pick you at your house. They'll call Child Protective Services to come pick up your children. Or if you have a relative who will come, they will do that. If you are driving them to school and you're in the carpool lane, they will pick you up there. And that's what's going to happen. And you have to pay restitution. This is a theft case. Am I looking at the wrong case?
No, Your Honor.
Yeah. So you owe $1,490 in restitution.
No, Your Honor, I apologize. That's the amount that she's paid.
Okay.
She still owes the balance of $775.
All right, you owe $775 in restitution. When you commit a theft, people want their money. Or when you commit, in your case, a criminal mischief, which is destroying or defacing a property, they want their money. And I understand that people have life and things that are going on in their life, but don't commit a crime and you won't have to do these classes. So if you do not do these classes, if you do not register, because I see it says she has failed to register and take either of her classes. You have parenting classes, you have anger management classes. So you say you take care of your children. How are you financially supporting yourself?
My kid's father helps me right now.
All right. So do you trust him to babysit?
Yes.
Yeah. So you need to do these classes. You need to do your parenting classes. You need to do your anger management classes, and you need to pay the $775. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you do not do that, you know what's going to end up happening? A motion to revoke is going to be filed. If you take your time in paying this $775, you know what's going to end up happening? Your probation is going to be extended.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you don't want any of those things to happen, you need to get registered in class and you need to take those classes. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, probation, when do you want her registered in the classes?
Your Honor, if we can give her 10 days to show registration at least.
Okay.
The other issue is her probation expires on the 21st of this month.
Oh, you're
So-
gonna be extended.
Yes,
You're gonna be extended for a year. If you complete everything before then maybe the court will consider terminating you early, which would be, you're done. All right, so we'll extend her for a year. And you have 10 days to register for those classes. If you do not, if she does not register for those classes, then file a motion to revoke. Is there anything else you need?
No.
All right, thank you. Probation, is there anything else?
no, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Who's here on David Quint? Join us. Thank you. All right. All right, do we have the communications between the complainant and the defendant? That's what we were here for last time. CPS records were outstanding, and this was in May, so I gave you all till July. So CPS records and communications between the complainant and the defendant needed.
I know that Victoria Cruz said she signed the discovery acknowledgement, but as to those specific discovery issues, I can't attest, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, recall this for the 13th. And Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. And on that day, you ought to need to let me know what's the update on the communications between the complainant and the defendant.
I will.
All right, thank
Your
you. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, then you're excused. All right, the next person is Laura Romero. Is the attorney here for Laura Romero? All right, if you come forward. And counsel, your client was late, so let him know that he cannot be late for the next hearing.
Honor. Your Honor.
All right, yes. So we're here for jury trial. So if you all will come back at 1:30 and we'll take that up.
Very good then.
All right, thank you. Demario Jones. Who's here for Demario Jones? All right, are you all ready to proceed?
Yes.
Court is calling 2019 CR 7581 State of Texas versus Demario Jones. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
defense?
Probation, Your Honor.
And are you Demario Jones? All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and state's motion to supplement pending motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Demario Jones who's placed on community supervision in 2019 CR 7581 for the offense of assault, bodily injury, family household on October 31st, 2019 for a term of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, in violation of condition number 2, on or about the 9th day of December 2019 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Demario Jones to then and there failed to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, at this time, we'll waive and abandon the remaining violations.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
Your Honor, I believe there's an agreement to revocation. However, the state is requesting the underlying 1 year. And I believe defense is gonna request the court to reform that.
That's
All
correct,
right. So the state is requesting 1 year. Defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, I would request the court to reform the judgment. I'm not trying to make any excuses for my client. He didn't, well, he did do some drug testing and it was negative, and he did do some others. It's because he was working and he was gone. The court knows from the supplemental. But as the court can also see, he did not pick up any new offenses. He's been out 2.5 years working, raising his family. That's not an excuse, Your Honor. Just let the court know that he's been trying to do right, except for he should have been reporting. He's telling me his mother is in Florida. She recently, within the last year, has been diagnosed with cancer and was wanting to go visit her and wants to get back to work as soon as possible so he can make money to do that. So he will visit her, and I'm asking for the reform of judgment. I'd like to see the court reform it. He has 103 days credit at this time, Your Honor. If the court could reform it to 206 days or somewhere around there, they can that, or if not, maybe a 30-day jail sanction. So he understands that he did do something wrong on that.
So what did he do while he's been on probation?
He's been,
Did he do the class?
he started some classes and he did not finish the classes.
All right.
He did do some testing and was negative on, he was positive on the first test. I think when the first one and everyone after that he did was negative, but he did not show up on some other.
All right. Any objection to the court reviewing the court summary, probation's court summary?
No,
All right. So what I see here is he was exited from the Battery Intervention and Prevention Program on October 20th, 2020. He was given an opportunity to re-enroll in the class, and then he was unsuccessfully discharged on February 8, 2021. He hasn't done parenting classes. Have you done parenting classes?
no.
So he hasn't done anything. All right. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
That's my client. What do you want to say anything?
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court will grant the motion. Court is going to sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Leanna, Leighhanna Gonzalez, Gonzalez. Give you credit for any time served. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on probation. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Do better, okay? Who's here on Cruz Rivas? And is there just a plea on one case?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Court is calling 2022 CR 6937, State of Texas versus Cruz Rivas. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense,
Guillermo from Mr. Rivas, Your Honor.
are you Cruz Rivas?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge, we have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is there no applications?
No, Your Honor, there's not.
Mr. Rivas, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Judge.
Mr. Rivas, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand you're charged with burglary of a building with intent to commit theft. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront Any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Rivas, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No,
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
no.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm going to show you the plea bargain page. Thank you. Did you review this page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 14 months in the state jail facility. And the state will take in consideration 2022 CR 8522. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
That's correct, Judge.
Did you review the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence?
State offered State Exhibit 1 in all attachments. No objections.
All right, you may continue to defer. Showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, other than we ask for any time that he's been in custody to be credited to his sentence, Your Honor.
All right. The court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 14 months in the state jail facility. The court will give you credit for any time served, take in consideration 2022 CR 8522. Going to show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have an issue or question about what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. How old are you?
37.
All right, you're going to have to do better. If you have a mental health issue or going through a mental health crisis, or if there's a drug issue, there are plenty of free places in San Antonio to help you, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you. And I want to let you know that I do receive all the letters from the jail. I don't read them until I've had the defense attorney read them, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So, all right, thank
Thank
you.
you, Judge.
Who's here on Tyler Small? I don't know. I'm going to check. I think there's an arson case. An assault on a public servant. That's Lionel Young. If you'll let Ms. Ferguson know, she'll call that attorney. Oh, okay. I'm going to take you up right after this. Court is calling 2023 CR 0029, State of Texas versus Tyler Small. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
For the state.
Defense?
Attorney Albert Oswald for Mr. Smalls.
And are you Mr. Small?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Small, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Do Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Small, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of injury to a child intentionally or knowingly? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you are giving up those rights?
Yes, sir.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Small, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you in this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, sir.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. The state is remaining silent on your application for deferred adjudication. They recommend community supervision. They will take in consideration grand jury number 77329, and there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your agreement?
Yes, sir.
State,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
I've been doing that lately. All right, I'm showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. The state is requesting that your supervision be for a term of 6 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation. No unsupervised contact with the complainant. No harmful or injurious contact with April. Parenting classes, random UAs, and the BIPP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, sir.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
State out for State's Exhibit 1 and all its attachments. No joke.
All right, you can continue to defer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, sir.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Does he have criminal history?
Just a few misdemeanor, Judge. There's a
Alright.
pending MTR in County Court 14 that we still have to resolve. But it's I believe a criminal mischief.
All right, so does he have, are those the only things that he has?
I don't know the other misdemeanors. There may be 1 or 2 other misdemeanors.
All right, so this is what I'll do. Norma, can we reset this for maybe July 31st? And state, on this case, I'll need his criminal history. And then if he wants to have no harmful or injurious contact with the mother of the children and no unsupervised contact, the mother will need to appear. She can either appear by Zoom or in person.
Okay, do you mind doing it the first week of August? I'm out of town the end of the month.
Okay, what date are you asking for?
We can do that first week and I come back, Judge.
You want the week of August 7th?
Yes, Judge.
Norma, are we available for the week of August 7th?
Yes.
All right, August 7th.
That works, Judge.
All right. Is there anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, if you'll sign the reset form, and we'll come back on August 7th, and at that time, I'll make my ruling.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Lionel Young. All right, what is happening on this case with Mr. Young and where is he? Oh, okay. Okay, so you said you've had the hearing?
Your Honor, as you referred Mr. Young to the magistrate court about 19-20 months ago.
Mhm.
He's finally out of the mental health hospital. He was held competent last week.
Okay,
And I got the first offer today. And I would like some time to sit down with Mr. Young so we can make an informed decision of what to do with the offer.
all right, so then when do you want to come back? Because I don't want him to decompensate.
2 weeks, Judge.
All right, Miss, would that give everybody enough time, 2 weeks?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can I have a reset date for 2 weeks for Mr. Young? All right, I'll give it to you. We'll come back on. Yes. We'll come back on July 24th.
Be fine.
Okay. All right, Mr. Young, we're going to see you back on July 24th, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any questions about anything?
I don't mind.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, reset for me, Judge.
Yes, I'll fill it out in just a moment for you.
I'm sorry.
This case on Young is coming back on July 24th. If you can give them a reset form, so he'll have it. All right, who is Raina? Are you Mr. Raina?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Raina, you're scheduled for jury trial today. My understanding, you did not wish to change your outfit, so you'll be going to trial in that red uniform, okay? All right, so he'll be going to trial in that uniform. That's what he chose. Who is his attorney? All right. Yeah, when they ask you to change your clothes to put on clothing, you're supposed to do that. So we'll see you back at 1:30, okay, Mr. Raina? All right, we'll have you in trial in that outfit, okay?
Serena. His attorney is Victor Gomez.
Okay. All right, so everyone else who's waiting, we are coming back at 1:30 for a jury trial. So Norma, that would be, okay.